Julian continued to reveal what he had learned in Savannah. Another particularly good technique is based on what Yogi Raman called opposition thinking. I learned that under the grand laws of nature, the mind can only hold one thought at any one time. Try it yourself, John. You will see that it's true. I did try it, and it is true. Using this little-known information, anyone can easily create a positive, creative mindset within a short period. The process is straightforward. When an undesirable thought occupies the focal point of your mind, immediately replace it with an uplifting one. This is where the prayer beads around my neck come in, Julian added with rising enthusiasm. Every time I catch myself thinking a negative thought, I take this necklace off and remove another bead. These beads of worry go into a cup I keep in my knapsack. Together, they serve as gentle reminders that I still have a distance to travel on the road to mental mastery and responsibility over the thoughts that fill my mind. Hey, that's a great one. This is really practical stuff. I have never heard anything quite like it. Tell me more about this philosophy of opposition thinking. Let's say you've had a tough day in court. The judge disagreed with your interpretation of the law. The litigator on the other side belonged in a cage, and your client was more than a little annoyed with your performance. You come home and fall into your favorite chair, full of gloom. Step 1 is to become aware that you are thinking these uninspiring thoughts. Self-knowledge is the stepping stone to self-mastery. Step 2 is to appreciate once and for all that just as easily as you allowed those gloomy thoughts to enter, you can replace them with cheerful ones. So think of the opposite of gloom. Concentrate on being cheerful and energetic. Feel that you are happy. Perhaps you might even start to smile. Move your body as you do when you are joyful and full of enthusiasm. Sit up straight and breathe deeply and train the power of your mind on positive thoughts. You will notice a remarkable difference in the way you feel within minutes. If you keep up your practice of opposition thinking, applying it to every negative thought that habitually visits your mind, within weeks you will see that they no longer hold any power. Julian continued his explanation. Thoughts are vital, living things, little bundles of energy, if you will. A strong, disciplined mind, which anyone can cultivate through daily practice, can achieve miracles. I never saw thoughts as living things, Julian, I replied, amazed at this discovery. The sages of Savannah firmly believed that one should think only sattvic, or pure thoughts. If even one impure thought entered the temple of their minds, they would punish themselves by traveling many miles to an imposing waterfall and standing under the ice-cold water until they could no longer bear the frigid temperature. I thought you told me these sages were wise. Standing under an ice-cold waterfall for thinking one little negative thought strikes me as extreme behavior. Julian was lightning fast in his response. John, I'll be blunt. You truly cannot afford the luxury of even one negative thought. A worrisome thought is like an embryo. It starts off small, but grows and grows. Soon it takes on a life of its own. The sages of Savannah had a wonderful way to ensure that their thoughts were pure and wholesome. This technique was also highly effective in manifesting their desires, however simple, into reality. The method will work for anyone. The technique was known to the sages as the secret of the lake. To apply it, these teachers would rise at 4 a.m., as they felt that the early morning possessed magical qualities from which anyone could benefit. The sages would then travel along a series of steep, narrow mountain paths, which eventually led them to the lower reaches of the region they inhabited. Once there, they would walk along a barely visible trail until they arrived at a clearing. At the edge of the clearing was an aqua-blue lake covered by thousands of tiny white lotuses. The water of the lake was strikingly still and calm. It was a truly miraculous sight. The sages told me that this lake had been a friend to their ancestors over the ages. Julian explained that the sages would look into the waters of the still lake and envision their dreams becoming reality. If it was the virtue of discipline they wished to cultivate within their lives, they would picture themselves getting up at dawn, performing their rigorous physical regimen without fail, and spending days in silence to enhance their willpower. If it was courage they desired, they would picture themselves acting with strength in a moment of crisis and challenge. You see, John, the mind works through pictures. Pictures affect your self-image, and your self-image affects the way you feel, act, and achieve. When you run inspiring, imaginative pictures through the movie screen of your mind, wonderful things start to happen in your life. You must spend some time every day, even if it is just a few minutes, in the practice of creative envisioning. See yourself as you want to be, whether this means serving as a great judge, a great father, or a great citizen of your community. Do I have to find a special lake to apply the secret of the lake? I asked innocently. No, you can practice this method in your own living room, or even at your office if you really want to. Shut the door, hold all calls, and close your eyes. Then take a few deep breaths. You will notice that after 2 or 3 minutes, you will start to feel relaxed. Next, visualize mental pictures of all you want to be, to have, and to attain in your life. If you want to be the world's best father, envision yourself laughing and playing with your kids, responding to their questions with an open heart. Picture yourself acting gracefully and lovingly in a tense situation. Mentally rehearse the way you will govern your actions when a similar scene unfolds on the canvas of reality. The magic of visualization can be applied to so many situations. Consistent use of this method will also bring you financial rewards along with an abundance of material gain, if this is important to you. Understand once and for all that your mind has magnetic power to attract all that you desire into your life. Once you start to experience the joy this ancient technique brings, you will realize the infinite potential of your mind and begin to liberate the storehouse of ability and energy that currently sleeps within you. It was as if Julian was speaking a foreign tongue. I had never heard anyone speak of the power of imaging and its profound effects on every aspect of one's world. Yet, deep inside, I had faith in what Julian was saying. But doing these exercises at the office, Julian, my partners think I'm strange enough as it is. Do not be concerned with the judgment of others as long as you know what you are doing is right. You can do whatever you want to do as long as it is correct according to your conscience and your heart. Never be ashamed of doing that which is right. Decide on what you think is good and then stick to it. It was now 7 minutes past midnight. Remarkably, I didn't feel the least bit tired. When I shared this with Julian, he smiled once again. You have learned yet another principle for enlightened living. When you consistently direct your mind to live in the present, you will always have boundless energy, no matter what time the clock reflects.